neocon, totally different world. But I was thinking this morning as I was driving in, I'm like, of all the things you could do to infuriate your audience, this is probably at the top of the list. Like, you don't need to do this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. So there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, I want to take yes for an answer. You're anti-war. We've been anti-war for 20 years. So
I have not been. So bless you for that.
Thank you, brother, and welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And so that's amazing. That's important. And I also want to break down the barriers of Republicans versus Democrats, right wing versus left wing. I think that it's kind of used to divide us. And I think that the powerful already have an incredible elite team. They're very, very organized. And they do it through donations to the politicians, et cetera.
Yes.
But the American people are not organized. We have built two teams, but those two teams, the Republicans and the Democrats, have been trained to fight each other instead of fighting up, right?
Exactly.
And so when you split the population that way, you take away all of their energy because you have them use their energy against one another rather than against you. It's actually brilliant.
It's how the British ruled India.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
And it's done on a meta level in every way. Also, by the way, on a global level, Christians versus Muslims. 2 billion here, 2 billion there. Make sure you guys are fighting one another. And hey, look at that. We've used up all your energy fighting one another and not looking up.
I've noticed, yeah.
Okay. So, and then of course, the third issue is Israel. And so that's what I want to talk to you a lot about today, I hope. And I think that that's an animating issue for a number of reasons, not because it's the end all be all, but because it is deeply symbolic. And so whether it's Big Pharma or Big Oil or AIPAC, they are buying our politicians. And so you're a rare person saying that. I'm a person saying that. And they mainstream media works against us and they try to shut us up and say, shh, don't tell anybody about money in politics.
Yes.
No, these politicians are honest and honorable people having debates. They're not having any debates. They're cashing checks. And so I want all of America to know that. And at the end of the day, Tucker, if we don't unite as Americans, the powerful are going to rule us forever.
I think that is absolutely true. So let's just start with motive. I hate going to motive because it's like we don't even know our own motives a lot of the time, right? Motive is very hard to determine. But when this topic comes up, people go immediately to motive. You're taking money from somebody, a foreign power. Okay. You've got some secret religious affiliation. You're filled with hate. It's all about why you have these views rather than addressing the views themselves. I've just noticed this, having lived it. And so I just want to ask you about Israel specifically. How did you come to this and what are your motives?
Yeah. So it's a difficult one for me because I grew up in a town that was about 50% Jewish. So I have tons of Jewish friends. I have Jewish family. I have a nephew and niece who are Jewish.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to make people uncomfortable and I don't want this to be about the Jews. That's crazy. And what I tell people all the time is, hey, listen, I like my friend Dave, my friend Jack, Mossad never called them and asked permission, right? Netanyahu was never like, hey, should we take 53% of Gaza? What do you think, Dave? Right? So
Yes.
that's not how it works. So anyone who's got that intent, I'm not interested in. Okay, you're not going to have me as an ally. It's not going to work out. I have Jewish family. I have Jewish friends. I'll never sell them out. Okay,
Right.
So, and the other thing about Jewish Americans is they're Americans, and I believe in a united America. Okay,
Yes.
so you're for America. I love you, and I protect you. I'll give you one last example, although I can give you thousands, right? But Dave Smith is an amazing ally of ours.
A wonderful man. Too.
Yeah,
I agree.
So if you come for Dave, you come for all of us. He's one of us.
Yes.
Okay, we protect our own Americans.
Right.
Okay, so now why do I have an issue with Israel then? Even though I would actually naturally want to ally with Israel, given all the Jewish friends and family that I have, right? And I didn't know a lot of Palestinians growing up. I only knew one Palestinian. We had one in our high school. We had hundreds of Jewish folks who loved Israel, et cetera, right? The problem with Israel isn't just the genocide that they just committed, but that would be enough. That is a horrific injustice.
In Gaza.
In Gaza. I mean, you've got well over 70,000 dead. You've got God knows how many thousands buried in the rubble. They're adding to the count every day. You've got 10% of the entire population that was either killed or injured, which is a stunning number. That's why almost every genocide scholar says it's obviously a genocide, right?
10% of the entire population?
Yes, either killed or injured. Okay.
So that'd be over 200,000.
Yes, that's right. Because the
Wow.
amount injured are well over 130,000. Okay.
But just to be clear on that, like that's a number that we should know, I think, since we paid for it. And I think it's so important to know what death tolls and the injury count is, because you did this and you have to know what the consequences are. I think it's totally fair. We don't know in the Russia-Ukraine war. We have no idea. And we have no idea in Gaza. So I just want to say that there are estimates that it's over 500,000. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the point. We should know that.
Yeah,
We have
absolutely.
a right to know that.
So, Tucker, that's going to go to points 2 and 3, which
Sorry,
is,
I could just interrupted with him. He started interrupting.
no, not at all, not at all. But I want to come back to that
Yes.
because 2 and 3 are super important because it's symbolic of the power that all the donor class has, not just Israel, but also with Israel you have gaslighting that is extreme, where you don't have that in any other.
Can you explain
instance.
what that is?
So you'll say, hey, I don't think we should give Israel another $30 billion or another $100 billion. And I want to get into all these numbers in a second, right? And they'll say anti-Semite. Now, so wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Like we could Mad Lib this, right? You take any Israeli talking point and put in a different country.